Hey guys, today I want to talk about the importance of actually experiencing life fully. And what I mean by that is, we have this tendency, especially, I mean, it's always been there, but especially now with like social media and, just the part of ourselves we share with the world that are the shiny ones, the happy ones, the joyful ones, the parts of ourselves that we consider filled with light and love and compassion, and we tend to suppress and um, repress and shame this part of ourselves that it's darker. It comes with pain. It comes with grief. It comes with um, anger and so many emotions that even though they're parts of ourselves, uh, we don't want to experience, and we don't want anyone to know that we actually experience them. And that that is that is really living a life out of alignment, and that's out of balance, out of experiencing the truth of who we are. And I often catch myself doing that, and only sharing a part of myself with the world. And um especially on social media, and even in public, when connecting with other people, I feel this sense of inadequacy when I'm feeling anger, or I'm feeling sadness, or I'm feeling judgment. And I had this pattern of hiding from the world when that happened. I felt like I wasn't worthy of being met around. I wasn't worthy of being in someone else's presence when that part of myself was there, or was kind of throughout my system. So as important as it is to nurture our light, to nurture our compassion, our love, our connection to ourselves and others, part of that, or that compassion and that love and that connection, comes from the integration of these other parts of ourselves. Compassion can only come when we understand what it is to experience life with all its colors, when we know what it is to experience pain, when we know what it feels to not feel enough and feel insecure and feel all these fears and anger and sadness that we all go through. And it isn't until we learn to nurture that part, to accept it, to hear what it has to say, to receive and process the message that comes with it, that we can actually start experiencing a real love for ourselves and for other people and for life itself. So it is so important to allow ourselves to feel, to understand that, even though it is uncomfortable, because it is fucking uncomfortable to feel those feelings, they are not necessarily good or bad. They're not necessarily bad just because they're uncomfortable. They just are uncomfortable. And it's through that discomfort that we can move into new realms within ourselves. It is only going through that we can move beyond the feeling. The more we run away from it, the more we avoid it and repress it and try to pretend that it isn't there, the louder it gets. The louder it gets, because it's you neglecting yourself, neglecting a part of you that it's trying to deliver a message. And again, as beautiful and wonderful that it is to feel joy and to feel abundance and to feel this sense of expansion and greatness, it can only come when it is integrated with these other parts of ourselves that are messengers to take us there. are messengers to make us understand why is that joy coming from, why and where, how to express it. We can only experience joy when we experience true pain and we understand what it is. And we can only become whole when we actually accept all these parts that make up the complex and unique and miraculous beings we are. So all these techniques, which are wonderful, and in my experience, for me, they've been life-changing, and I experienced things and in things that I can't even describe, that you can only go through, and I imagine many of you can resonate with that. There's so many techniques that allowed me to get to deeper realms of who I am, and it is important to understand that those tools, those techniques, that wisdom we've learning, or that knowledge, it isn't wisdom until we actually apply it, and we actually integrate in ourselves. And it can only happen through a real integration of all the parts that components. So it is important to understand that these tools are here to help us understand that even though we go through those challenges, we don't have to get stuck there. That we listen, that we go through the feeling, that we move beyond it, and like, now what? There are those tools for that, to help us understand that we don't have to identify with one or another, that we don't have to get hooked on a feeling or our discomfort, that we learn to stretch and we learn to move through that uncomfortable situation and experience. And then we can practice different things that we have learned to bring ourselves back to ease, back to the realization that just because we're experiencing something, that doesn't mean that that's who we are. But to understand that this is a phase we're going through, that is just part of the immense and endless ocean of waves and phases that we're going to go through in life. So I just wanted to share this video to make sure that you know, that I show up for myself as well, and to not portray a wrong idea that I feel many of us do unconsciously, and you know, with the best intentions on, you know, supporting ourselves, supporting other people, and we feel that that can only happen when we show the best part of ourselves. And the best part of ourselves, or the best version of ourselves, it feels like is linked or is defined by just the happy one, just the happy self that we can portray to other people in the world. And that, unless we're actually experiencing that, that's a very inauthentic way of showing up, and that only creates disconnection and separation from ourselves and others. I remember one day, it was a few months ago, last year actually, I've been going through a deep inner transformation, and it's been coming with a lot of pain and inner stretching and kind of sitting with those feelings for honestly a very long time. And you know, it's been an incredible teacher for me. It's been allowing me to get to know myself and understand somehow my life and reality from a deeper point of view. And I imagine many of you can relate to you know, whenever you've been through some tough times, or like some big challenges that you know, feel like you're standing on the edge of whatever situation in your life. That's where you found, even though it was fucking hard, that's the moment that has allowed you to become more of who you are and take a turn or take a leap um, towards the life you truly want to live. And that's very challenging, but at the same time, I feel that's what makes us connect as human beings. I remember, as I was saying, last year I was just going out for a tea, and I remember thinking, I was going with my bike, and I was just thinking, I don't want to meet anyone because I'm not in the mood. I just feel so much pain right now, and I feel so much anger, and I don't know what to do with it. And I already danced, I already meditated, I already painted, I already fucking did everything that says in the book of how to feel better, and I still can't get rid of this feeling. So I decided to go for a tea, and like I remember praying, I do not want to meet anyone. Because deep down I felt that, I wasn't someone fun to be around in that time. I was not good enough in that moment to be someone's company. So I remember this specific day when it was something very deep that I've been through my life that was triggered that day. And I remember I went to the fruit shop, and I'm like, I saw someone that I knew, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to buy a papaya, but like, I don't want to talk to anybody, and this girl knows me. And it was a point that something inside me was like, you know what, fuck it, just go get your papaya and like move on. And I went in, and out of fucking nowhere, this girl came to me, and she was like, she spoke the fucking words I needed to hear. I swear, she came out of nowhere, and like we didn't even start a conversation. She's like, oh, it's nice to see you, and blah blah blah. She spoke the words I needed to hear. And I remember I was quite shocked as like the situation of like, this girl just told me what I needed to hear today, and what got me back to this feeling of like, we're all going through this together. It doesn't matter. This is what brings me closer to this feeling of oneness, of we're one, and the illusion of separation, which is like, yeah, of course we're all individuals. There is no illusion when it comes to that. But it is an illusion when we believe that we're the only ones who are experiencing life in a certain way. And then when we give ourselves permission to actually show up with the full range of colors that comes with life, then we start connecting with other people more authentically, because we open that door, that window to that light of like, you know what, this is what I'm experiencing, and because I'm able to look at that and to see that within myself, then I'm able to actually see that within you and hold space for you to experience the same without shaming you or blaming you for that. And I don't know, that was just so mind-blowing and such a beautiful experience to realize when you actually connect with who you truly are, how that can translate into connecting with the world, and it becomes like a loop, connecting even deeper with yourself. And I got my papaya, and I just went for a tea, and I remember sitting there, and like, I was alone, I was just like right on the road. This was in India, and I'm just sitting there having my chai, and this guy that I also knew, it's quite a small place, you kind of knew everyone. He just stopped, parked his bike, and then the same feeling again came back. Even though I was feeling like connected, the same thought came of like, oh man, someone that I know. And I'm like, should I fake a smile? Should I, who should I be right now? Instead of like, who am I actually right now? And just be without actually questioning it. And somehow he say hi, and I just stopped thinking. And he asked like, how you feeling? And I was like, oh man, I actually feel a bit like shit today, feeling so disconnected from myself, from my surroundings, and I don't know, I feel like I have this dark cloud around me, and it's been quite hard to shake it. And interestingly enough, I've seen this guy many times before, and we never truly talked. We just, like very quite like a chit chat, and yeah, I never felt a real connection with this person. And when I spoke those words, this guy was like, "Oh man, I just feel the same. I totally resonate with you." And and then he started to share his experience of life in that moment and what was going through, and it was such a beautiful sharing. It was like if the universe pushed me out of home. I'm like, you don't need to shake it anymore. You don't need to dance anymore. You don't need to meditate anymore. You need to go and see your reflection in other people, but actually look at the reflection. Don't look away. Don't pretend that it isn't there, and allow other people to do the same. Allow other people to connect through you with themselves, and to connect with you through themselves. And it was just such a beautiful experience, and an enormous teaching when it comes to realizing that this inadequacy that we feel about being human, and we don't realize that like human comes with a lot. It doesn't just come with a 30% of what we consider good. Human comes as a package of 100%, and it comes with it comes with so much, and the more we deny it, the more we deny who we are. The more we deny who we are, and we're so fucking cool. We're so special, and meditation has taught me and has allowed me to experience myself in levels that I can't even comprehend sometimes. Dancing has allowed me to connect with life, with my body, with like the joy of being alive and celebrating life in ways that have made me cry so many times. Reading and connecting with the knowledge and the wisdom of other people have allowed me to grow and to comprehend parts of myself that I couldn't before. Coaching has really led me to question my entire existence in a way of allowing me to look at myself on a deeper level, constantly removing and moving through layers that I wasn't even aware that they were there. There's so many energy healing techniques that I tried that sometimes I can't even explain the nature of it or how it actually happened, but it has transformed my life. It has allowed me to transform my life so many times. Therapy has helped me to move beyond pain, depression, and a very hard time in my life that I actually couldn't copy with my daily life, and I actually had to go to therapy in order to continue working and just operating in my life. So there's so many endless tools, techniques, and support that we have available for us to experience a more fulfilling experience of life, a more complete and joyful and beautiful sense of being, and to expand and to grow and to evolve and to integrate all the parts of ourselves, and to cry and to feel who we truly are. And it is through all of this that I have had the privilege to get to understandings like this, that I spend most of my life denying my feelings and becoming a workaholic and becoming a just obsessing over pushing in life and moving forward, and so kind of like this feeling of like a black cloud, or like a black, I was just talking about it with a friend, like a black roof over you, and it's like push it and push it, and that's how it has felt most of my life, just like pushing and pushing. And it hasn't been until like the days when I'm like, I just let it go, and I just let it fall all over me, and allow it to bring to me what it was trying to deliver, that I actually was able to integrate deeply these parts of myself that I continue discovering on a deeper level every single day. So that's it. Like, I just wanted to come by and and share this with you, share the truth behind who we truly are, or my truth behind all of this, and see if this is something that may resonate with someone, and if it may come as a reminder, as I have received many reminders through other people about specific times in my life. And if you're feeling any of these emotions that we usually label as bad or as dark, or as like just like negative, we realize that it's time to realize that they're not, and you are completely fine, and you're a complete and whole human being for feeling them and for experiencing them, and there is nothing wrong with you, and you are so worthy of being around, of being heard, of being held, and of being cared for and loved and seen and held. And I honor you so much for whatever you're going through. And I just wanted to say that there is really nothing to change in whatever thing you're feeling, but know that it's a phase, and we don't have to get hooked there. And if there is a moment, because we all have the wisest master of all times within ourselves, that master will tell you when it's time for you to move forward. And just know that there's so many tools out there to support you on that. But whatever you're at in this moment, that's completely perfect. That's completely fine. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. And there is nothing wrong with you, as there is nothing wrong with me for feeling whatever I feel. And when I feel this dark cloud on top of me, it is completely fine. It is as beautiful as when, the sun is shining, and there is a beauty to both of them. And there is a need for both of them to be in our lives. So the best way to overcome something is to go through it, not to hide from it or to repress it, but to move through it, to go towards it, and allow it to teach you whatever it's there to show you and to gift you with. I'm sending you a very tight hug, and I hope you realize how wonderful you are, as I am realizing how wonderful I am as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.